I want to go ahead and bring in DJ Ragoza. Show us what you can do with this tonight.
But when you can't harmonically mix, what can you do? Go to where the drums come in. Actually, yeah, we'll keep it like this. What's cool is I could put a collection of sound effects down here that I like. So this time with the stems, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave Rihanna's bass and melody on for the first half of the transition and then turn it off for the second half. So yeah, for those of you who want to see some hip hop, I get it, because hip hop is a different style of mixing.
Maybe Siebrand, you can show just a little bit of mastering. If you have questions, stick around with us. Ragoza's going straight advanced, right? He's going to be showing you some advanced stuff here shortly. And yeah, that's...
Yeah, I got a question. Yeah,
Siebrand,
let's unmute Siebrand really quick. You're charging $169. People are so used to the common, recurring revenue thing. Why? Are you just trying to get this thing out there? I mean, that is, somebody said in the chat, it's almost as much as a wedding tip to pay for something for a lifetime like this. What is your madness behind this philosophy?
Well, we want to be the door for DJs, and there are millions of DJs in the world. So the only thing that we can do is make the price as low as possible and spread the news, spread the word, tell your friends about it. We need it. We need a large community, and Ableton has millions of users. Those are producers. I saw somebody saying, hey, this is the same as Ableton. No, Ableton is scary, has hundreds of options that you need to use to make your DJ mix. We try to lower this bar. We play with produced music, and that's something completely different than producing music. And so, yeah, DJ.Studio is for the DJs.
Good answer. You know what I should have done beforehand is what everybody else should be doing right now. On your Zoom, on your mobile device, your iPad or your desktop, go ahead and just click the raise hand button like this. If you have a question just like me, he did great with his answers. He may have to share his screen for a few more in depth, but we'll keep him light and bright, short and to the point. Yeah. But Dominic, looks like we have our first question.
Let's just rip through these. We're going to do about 15 minutes of questions and then over to Ragoza. So Santo asks, can you use VST plugins in DJ.Studio? I know this is more of an advanced question.
Yes, yeah, it is advanced. It's pretty difficult to implement. We started early this year already with the VST. We have a large group of about 150 people testing the VST plugin. If you have DJ.Studio, leave us a note in the bottom right corner of the app. That's the messenger where you can reach us, and we give you access to the closed beta. And we think that in a few weeks, we will start with an open beta. So every mastering effect you have, you can use in DJ.Studio. We don't support instruments because instruments are for producing music, and we play with produced music. So we support all kinds of effects.
I love it. Okay. Next question comes from, let me see here. Karen, future question. How do you bring your finished long mix into Serato? How long can the mix be?
That depends on the size of your disk. So the mix can be pretty long, but I don't know if you want to have a pre-produced mix in Serato. I mean, the transitions are in there. And a lot of people use DJ.Studio for doing some testing and see what tracks go good together, and then export the playlist order. That's the most important part for a live performance. DJ.Studio, the name is Studio and not DJ Performance. We are studio software, so you can craft the small stem effects, and you can make something cool that you publish on SoundCloud or on Mixcloud or on YouTube. It's a different purpose.
I love it. Leonard asked about virtual DJ integration. It does exist currently, correct?
Yes. Virtual DJ just came out with a new version. We support both versions.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Lionel asked, will this software be working with Tidal in the future?
As soon, yeah. Well, the problem is we live in DRM hell. I mean, it's difficult. Music is difficult. Music is not owned for 100%, but in the music industry, they say it's owned for 200%. So even if you are the performer of the track, you still have somebody who composed the track, somebody who published the track, and somebody who owns the label. So you have so many owners involved that nobody can give away music for free. And we know because we were looking for how can we get free music. We created a little loophole in YouTube where we can influence the YouTube video player so you can play for free with YouTube videos. We show the videos and you can beat match them. You can't export them, but you can look at the videos. Well, Tidal, we talked to Tidal as well, but those negotiations take a lot of time. And we're a new kid on the block, so they wait until you're still there after a few years. That's why we're really happy we already have Beatport and BeatSource and SoundCloud now coming up. But we talked to Tidal, yes. But Tidal says, yeah, it's okay, but you can't use stem separation, or you can't do samples, or you can't. And they need to talk to the labels, and the labels all need to agree that they have an integration with a DAW. And why would you have a music integration with a DAW? I mean, a DAW is for producing music. So they need to understand it. It's taking
all
a lot of
DRMs
work.
aside, I do believe that being the young guy on the block, less than 2 years, the integration you currently have already, we've already talked about the big guys, Virtual DJ, Rekordbox, Serato, Apple Music, BeatSource, Beatport. You've networked, to say the least, but more to come, you're saying.
Yeah, a lot. Yes,
Awesome.
absolutely. And yeah, absolutely more to come. Yeah,
Awesome.
Fleur, next week we launch an mashup competition with the biggest dance label in the world. You will see it in DJ.Studio. Really cool.
Networking. Dominic?
Coming soon. Yeah, Marshall asked, can you MIDI map any of the controls for tactile control?
No, we don't have MIDI support yet. When we were in closed beta, we had MIDI support, and then we went into an open beta and we had a few people where DJ.Studio wouldn't start, and it was because of some keyboard controller that they had. So we ripped it out of the software and it never came back. And yes, we need to bring it back. So we will bring back MIDI support. For now, it's the keyboard and the mouse. And no, we're not going to do DJ controller support. We are not for live performance. Our name is DJ.Studio. We want to be the best in the studio, and we want to live together with Serato, with Pioneer. I mean, we write in the Pioneer database. And Fleur, can we already tell what's going to happen in the near future?
No. I'm sorry.
Okay.
More to come, like we were saying before. More to come.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
For the wife's
Pioneer.
permission. Smart man.
Pioneer DJ also loves DJ.Studio. Yeah, we have lots of NDAs with the industry. We're doing pretty cool things. And Amsterdam Dance Event is coming up in October. There will be a lot of news around DJ.Studio.
Yeah. I think it's important to say, like, you know, these guys have only been around basically just a little more than a year, but Siebrand comes from an awesome tech background. He has a giant tech team. I mean, these guys are fast, creating all sorts of new features, new tools. They listen to you guys. So lots of stuff is coming. Don't worry about that. DJ Dion asks, I wonder how accurate the AI beat grids and key detections and things like that are.
The key detection, we support mixed in key because keys are a religion. You can only estimate. Yeah, you can. Yeah, well. People say, oh, I need mixed in key. That's the only right one. I think the only right one is the one you use, so that the software is telling the same key about the same tracks. But there's a lot of difference. If you look at techno music, there's no key at all. And yeah, and still we show a key. People can play 5, 6, 7 different keys in a track. So what would be the key? Major and minor scale differences. We look at the first root note, and we take a probability and we take a few other samples to make sure, okay, this would be the key. So we attach a number to it. Yeah, well, luckily we also have ears, so you can always hear when it's off tone or not. In one of the next releases of DJ.Studio, we will, for every phrase, show the key, store the key, and help you even within the track to do good harmonic transitions. That's the first half. The other half was how accurate is the AI beat gridding? It's horribly correct. It's horribly detailed. Every single beat we will find in your music. Like I said, Come On Eileen or Kalinka, or maybe Brandon has some cool stuff with beat gridding in there. Yes, we will follow every individual beat.
No, you breezed over it a second ago, but during the Atlantic City presentation, Come On Eileen, if any DJ is aware of this song, it starts off at a normal tempo, this old 80s track, pull it up. But if you'll notice, with or without the beat grid, you'll hear the tempo build to a crescendo that's about 200 BPM. When he says this AI can lock on to most any song, try running a song like, all right, well, let's do this before DJ Ragoza. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Watch this. It's just remarkable to watch the snapping of the beats.
Come on,
and how you can take this
and
drum beat that's from something else, copy and paste, put it underneath something that's already been hand drummed. I still can't get over that part.
Kalinka.
There it is. You can see it right there on the screen.
So here you see the beat grid. Well, let's say if we have a listen over here. And here is the tempo going up. Well, you have the metronome has no use. When we switch to AI, and now if you want to do cool stuff, here is a track with a drum. Okay, nice drum. Copy purely the drums and
copy paste, yep.
And bring it over here to and extend it a bit. Where are we? That's too fast. So. So you see, we're able to follow the groove of this whole track. When you switch the tempo lane to manual, you can do really fun stuff. So now I could remove this tempo difference, and let's go to 150 and then go to a 90 in an earlier stage. So now, yeah, the whole crowd is completely, what the hell is going on? You're going from fast to slow instead of the other way. So here you see Kalinka. Kalinka is a Russian with Timmy trumpet. And over here the same. And this track ends at 150 BPM. Well, grab this redrum. This drum, let's put it over here. Extend it a bit. And sorry.
Yeah.
So if you want to be more accurate, here you see the beat grid. And if you think that this beat is off, well, you can move this beat grid. You can move the individual beats. So now I just screwed up this one beat, and the rest of the beat grid is okay. I can screw this one up again and then correct the rest. And there was also a question, can you go to a smaller part than one beat? A lot of DJ.Studio users ask for it. Well, you can mimic it by moving the beat grid. So you can move a smaller part than a beat into a beat, emulating that you can use smaller units than a beat. So that's a lot of answers to a lot of questions.
Coming up
There we
next tonight, we have an
go.
opportunity for you to see the best at work. We've dabbled. We've both attempted to DJ with this on our own, but I want to go ahead and bring in DJ Ragoza. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your opportunity now
Hey.
to watch a mix show master who you may have heard at places like Topgolf, on radio mix shows across the nation. DJ Ragoza, you've fallen in love with this software so fast.
100%.
Show us what you can do with this tonight.
Before we do that, Aaron and Ragoza, 1 second. We're going to
Yeah,
let
yeah.
our very awesome Siebrand and Fleur go because it's very late where they're at right now. Guys, give them a heart emojis in the chat. They made time out of their very busy schedule to do this thing. We appreciate you guys. They were just at DJ Expo 2 weeks ago, which is a marathon in itself. Oh yeah, I'm seeing lots of hearts. We appreciate you, fam. Thank you guys so much. If you do have any questions, additional questions, I know you guys had some accounting questions. Fleur, there was a couple of questions. If you could just answer this real quick. If they have the pro license, how do they upgrade to the full package? Can they just email you or?
Yes, they can do it from within the software itself, but they can also just send an email to support at DJ.Studio and we'll help them.
Support at DJ.Studio. They will help you. They will hook you up. Okay. So if you guys have the pro license and want to upgrade, just email support at DJ.Studio. Siebrand, thank you so much. Fleur, safe travels on the boat.
Welcome.
We appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you for taking the time to look at DJ.Studio. We appreciate that a lot. Yeah.
One's in
Absolutely.
the chat.
Incredible technology. Very friendly people too. Super awesome. We got to hang out with them in Atlantic City.
Mhm.
We love having them in the community. All right. So Ragoza, I'm sorry about that.
Oh no, it's all good. Yeah,
Right,
no,
man.
they need to get their rest. They've obviously been putting in a lot of work.
Yeah.
Every time I open up my computer, there's a new DJ.Studio update. So
Yeah.
they've obviously been very busy.
Yeah. And
but yeah,
you know, but before you go into this, you know, I want to just like reiterate, like I kept hearing about DJ.Studio. It seemed cool. I opened it. I don't really know what, I've never really used Ableton. So I was like, hey, Ragoza, can you check this out? He's like, oh man, I already been playing around with it. This shit is awesome. Like, oh my God, it's going to save me so much time. I would gladly pay $200 a month for this software. I was like, okay, we're doing a workshop. Let's go. And then we started talking to them more. And so, yeah, man.
I love how it worked out. Yeah, just to kind of some of the comments I'm seeing. I see this is the same shit as Ableton. Well, you're about to see that it's definitely not, because Ableton does not have stem separation built in. And if you have to make mixes the way I have to make mixes, you'll see that this actually saves a ridiculous amount of time. Like, I'm not, like, honestly, saying it saves half the time is not even accurate. It saves me more time than that. Personally. So just to give you guys some context as to like why I'm very excited about it. So I have a client who I have to do 3-hour mixes for every month. Now, 1 3-hour mix a month might not sound bad, but keep in mind, this is not like a regular radio mix where I'm just playing the hits and letting the songs ride out. This is like, mixes that have to be very open format. So these mixes get sent to Topgolf, right? So Topgolf, they play these mixes on the weekend. So I can't just get away with just doing easy to mix genres such as hip hop and dance music. I have to do a little bit of everything. Now, there's two things about my style personally. Like, first of all, I'm a quick mixer. I don't like, well, it depends on the genre, but most of the time I think that DJ mixes are very boring if the songs play for too long. So I'm, for the most part, a one verse, one hook kind of guy. And the other thing is that with my style, I put a very heavy emphasis on harmonic vocal mixing, okay? I love the ear candy effect that you get when you come across like a unexpected but familiar combination. Like, I'm big on that. But the thing is, when you try to combine quick mixing and harmonic mixing, it can take a lot of effort, especially when you have to step out of the realm of just dance and hip hop. Because, like, I do a lot of dance and hip hop in these mixes, but because these aren't like mixes for a nightclub, the whole 3 hours can't be like a typical like club or bar set. I have to kind of do a couple different vibes, but I still want to maintain that style of quick mixing and harmonic mixing. And you know, the tracks that I chose for tonight's demo, you'll see I chose them specifically to show how much time DJ.Studio saves me personally. I'm going to open up my project in a second and show you guys, and I'm going to, you know, just get to work and just show you this amazing workflow. But you'll see that there's a lot of alternative rock. There's a lot of like pop and 80s, things like that. Now, these things aren't difficult to mix from a beat matching standpoint. A lot of these songs are pretty much around the same tempo. But from a mixing standpoint of making it entertaining, making it exciting, and making it harmonically sound, it can be very difficult to do it, especially with like rock and pop, because you don't get like for example, like hip hop, you get a lot of rapping where there's no key to it, so you can kind of put it over anything that's in the same tempo, it'll sound fine. And then with dance music, you get a lot of like mixable intros and outros and things that you can use to make the mix sound smooth. But with a lot of like rock and pop, it's a lot of heavy chords the whole time. A lot of times there's no real breaks that, you know, you can use to make it sound smooth. And of course, you know, stem separation has opened up a lot of possibilities in the last couple of years. But unless you have a very intuitive stem separation capability within your DAW like you do with DJ.Studio, mixing with stems can be a nightmare. Like if trying to do stems in Ableton takes me so long because I have to extract the stems somewhere else. Then I have to import them into my Ableton project, warp all the stems separately. There is a way that you can warp stems, you know, warp multiple files at once with Ableton. But if it's a song that's not quantized, the whole thing is just a nightmare. And in some situations, depending on the song, like, you know, it could take up to 20 to 40 minutes per transition when you're trying to get fancy with the stems and all that. So I think you guys are going to be amazed at what I can do with these songs using DJ.Studio. So, all right, I'm going to share my screen and we'll get to work. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you guys the playlist. So here are the songs. We have Rather Be, Clean Bandit, Starlight by Muse, 1985, Bowling for Soup, Honey I'm Good, Andy Grammer, Kids, Use Somebody, Kings of Leon, Rihanna, This Is What We Came For, Fleetwood Mac, Dreams, Burnout Remix, Time After Time, Cyndi Lauper, Jump, Van Halen, How Bizarre by OMC, Safe and Sound. So you guys get the point. Like, this is kind of, you know, these aren't the easiest songs to mix in a way that's exciting. You know what I'm saying? This isn't your typical dance music, you know, that you can just, you know, kind of chop up real easy. You have to be really crafty with how you put these songs together if you want it to sound good and if you want to maintain that style that I try to maintain of quick mixing and doing a lot of mashups. Right? This music wasn't very mashup friendly before, but now, as you can see, it is. So we have the playlist. I already put the songs in an order that I think will work good. So we can jump straight into the studio. So when I click on studio, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to deal with the tempo. For this mix, I'm not going to worry too much about doing tempo changes. All these songs are around the same tempo. I'm going to focus more on the harmonic combinations. So I'm going to go into tempo lane. I'm just going to click on manual, and I can choose basically the range of my project tempo, just like similar to how you do in Ableton. So I'm just going to make this an even 128 just to keep this keep that part simple. All right. All right, so now we can get to work. What's really cool is like once we have the layout, this is the number one. All right, this is the first thing that I noticed that saves me a lot of time with DJ.Studio versus Ableton. Once I get the order together and I know what I want to do, as soon as I go to Studio, everything is laid out in the order that I want. It's really awesome. So now I can just get to work doing what I want to do. Now I know I want to do one verse, one chorus of most of these songs. So I can already see on my first track right here, because the waveform display of DJ.Studio is so easy on the eyes for me. I can see that this is the chorus. I don't even need to listen to it. But if I play it, I guarantee it's going to be the chorus. Okay, that's where I want my mix out point to be. I already know that this next song is in the right key, so I know I can probably make that work. I think this chorus is 17 or 16 bars, so we're going to drag the transition window over to the 17th bar of the next song to make sure that we get the mix for the whole transition. What I'm going to do is, let me get the zoom stuff out of the way. All right, so I'm going to click on transition down here. All right. Now there's a couple of default things that are usually that are selected already. Sometimes I use them, sometimes I don't, but they are very useful, and you'll see me use them from time to time throughout this project. But for now, I'm gonna hit none on the volume automation and none on the bass swap, and we're gonna go straight to the stems. All right. Now let's just see what this is gonna sound like right away. Right? Not good at all. But that's because we have to remove the melody from Rather Be, and we'll remove the bass. And I can hear that it was a little bit offbeat. This song might not keep perfect tempo. I know it's like a mid 2000s song, but I don't think they played it to a click track. As you can see, it's way off from the beat grid. So no worries. All I have to do is go into track, click on AI, and check this out. It's gonna snap it right into place, and I don't have to worry about fussing around with it. Another way that this saves a lot of time, because with Ableton I'd have to go through and kind of like hand warp the whole thing. So yeah, all right, so let's see.
Brendan, you need to select the bottom track and then do the AI grid.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't have
the
right track selected. Yeah, so I click on AI. There we go. All right, yeah, now we're good. All right, so check this out. Beautiful. Now I could take these drums out if I wanted to. These drums aren't very heavy, so I could just leave them if I want. As you can see, the vocals are going to come in a little bit too early here. That's not a problem at all, because I can just grab these first 8 bars of Starlight, and I'll just hit Command D, and then I have my loop. You can see there's a little bit of a vocal clip in there from because he comes in a little bit before the downbeat with the S sound, so I can just get rid of that. And now let's listen to this transition. Beautiful. I mean, to me, that sounds really good. If you wanted to, I'll just show you real quick. If you wanted to like get more intricate with how you edit your vocals, you could just what was it? Option. You click it and you drag it down here. Once you drag your vocals into a sample lane, you can go into the effects. You can mess with the compression, echo, reverb, all those things. But the way I do mixes personally, because I do a lot of vocal mixing, is I just kind of use the stems the way they are at first, and I'll put the whole mix together, and then I'll usually listen to it in the car. Maybe I'll listen to it in my headphones when I'm on my bike ride, and then I'll come back and mess around with all this if I want to. So for tonight's example, I'm pretty much just going to use the regular stems, unless I run out of space, which you'll see is another great use for copying vocals to the sample lane. So we can just get rid of that for now, or yeah, we would just leave it. All right, so that transition is good to go. Now we can lock it in. It's fun locking the transitions because it almost gives it like it almost kind of gamifies the process of making a mix, because it feels like progress. Like we're locking this transition down onto the next. All right, so then we can go to the next transition. The next song we're gonna bring in is 1985 Bowling for Soup. This just has electric guitar right at the beginning, so it's a really hard song to mix before, but now we can make it really smooth. So I want to mix this out on the chorus of Starlight. All right, so here's the chorus. He only sings it one time, but I want him to sing it twice. So I'm just going to highlight the chorus, Command D. He's going to sing the chorus twice. I want him to sing the chorus first regular, and then when he sings the chorus again, that's when I want to switch the music. And I know that it's in key, so I know it's going to sound good. Let's zoom into the beat grid, make sure it looks good. Because this is rock music, sometimes it can be a little you know, a little funky, but looks like we're good here. Oh, gotta drag the transition window over a little bit. So let's go to transition. Let's get rid of our volume, get rid of our bass swap for now. I don't think we'll need it. This is going to be another straightforward, just acapella type of transition. Let's see what it sounds like. We'll take out the drums from this one because most of these songs have different like drum patterns. And yeah, let's see what it sounds like. Now, the guitars are kind of like a little bit loud, so what I could do, actually, if I come over here, I can hit this magnifying glass. I can look at the stems a little bit bigger, and I can go over to the melody. That's where the guitar is, and as you can see, I can control the volume with this little point up here. So I can grab that, and I can bring down the melody just a little bit. Now, of course, the guitars are going to go back to full volume after the transition window, but because the guitars change, like they change the pattern that they're playing, I don't mind that happening in this situation because I want to turn the guitar down just a little bit so that I can hear these vocals better. And then after the intro is done and the verse comes in, the guitar changes patterns anyway. So I think this is smooth. The other thing, there's a little vocal that comes in here. If I wanted to get rid of this, I could, but I kind of like it. I don't think it clashes too much. It's the same key, and it kind of sounds like they're singing together. So I like that. So let's check out this transition again. Not mad at that, all right? There's a lot of other things I could do to add to this transition, but we'll show those in future ones. But like if I'm in a crunch and I'm trying to get something done and you know I have a deadline, it's so great being able to make transitions that sound this impactful this quickly. All right, let's go to the next song. So I already know, I can already see on this waveform. I want to mix out right here. I only want to play one verse of this song. Right, I can zoom in and see 30 bar 39. That's where I want to mix out. So knowing that, I can take the next transition window and just make sure it ends at bar 39. All right. The next song that I'm bringing in is a different key. So we're going to change keys here. So I'm not going to do a acapella blend. I'm going to do something a little different. Now, you know, I love to mix in key, but also I don't always mix in key. But I always try to never mix out of key, if you get what I'm saying. I never like to let anything clash, and DJ.Studio really makes that process so much easier. So I can come into stems, I can get rid of everything else besides the drums because those things are going to have a key in it, so it's going to clash. We're going from a 1B to an 11A. So yeah, that would clash really bad. But we don't need to worry about that. We can strip it down to just the drums. Let's see what we're working with. Okay, not bad, but there's a lot that we can do to make this transition sound a little bit more exciting, even though we can't harmonically mix it, right? Because that's usually my crutch. I like to harmonically mix things to make them exciting, but when you can't harmonically mix, what can you do? Well, one thing I noticed is with Honey, I'm Good, the kick drum comes in a little bit harder once the verse drops. Okay? Because we're not working with dance music, it's kind of hard. Like we don't exactly have a lot of drum breaks we could grab, but with DJ.Studio, we can go to where the drums come in on the verse, and we can just copy drums. And now I can bring these drums over here. I can extend it a little bit, so that way the drums kind of carry the transition. Let's get rid of the original drums on Honey, I'm Good. We're not going to need them. And I think. Let's try taking the drums out of 1985. Let's see what that's going to sound like. Oh, wait a minute. So I don't want to do it for the whole transition. I want to do it for just, yeah, because this is when they stop singing. So I'm actually gonna do it like this. I'm gonna bring the drums over here. All right, I don't like how that sounds. I'm gonna keep the drums, but I think these drums are light enough. I think it'll sound fine. So let me bring, actually, yeah, we'll keep it like this. All right, a little bit better. So another thing I can do that I love, this is another thing that definitely saves me a lot of time, is I can use a high pass filter just like I would if I was DJing live. This is great for switching keys. I can come over here, go to effects, I can go over to filter. There's a lot of preset automations you could choose from, but I like to choose manual. If you click on this S tab right here, it'll show you just the automation line for your filter. So what I can do is just come over here to like the end of the transition and do like a high pass filter to kind of make the transition a little bit more exciting. So let's see. All right, last touch I'm going to make on this one is I'm going to go to samples. What's cool is I could put a collection of sound effects down here that I like. So I have a lot of transition effects I like to use. So I just number, I label them by number. It's like easy for me to remember. So I think my transition number 2 is going to work good in sample lane 2 down here. And it's going to help this transition sound even better. What's cool is that DJ.Studio also snaps the samples down to the grid. So I don't have to spend time trying to get it right. I see that the sample breaks exactly where it needs to break. I can come into effects. I could turn it down a little bit. Or I could go to, there's a couple different ways I could do that. I could do it in effects, or I could just add volume marker and turn it down that way. So let's see. Maybe bring it up just a little bit more. Okay, I'm happy with that. All right, now we can keep moving. We can lock this transition down. Do we lock the last one down? Yep, we did. Okay, good. I'm just gonna mix out on the chorus. It's right here. All right, we're coming in with Kids by MGMT, which is in the same key. So this is gonna sound really, really good. All right, let me, we'll drag it. It's really easy dragging the transition window because I know like the chorus is 16 bars and I know the intro of Kids is 16 bars. So all I have to do is drag it over to bar 17 and I know I've captured the section that I want to do the transition in very, very fast. All right, let's zoom into Kids. Let's make sure this beat grid is on point. It looks like it might be a little bit high in the beginning, but I think it's just the nature of the song. We could tighten it up if we want to, but let's just see what it sounds like first. So let's turn on the stems. We can also access stems by clicking up here, which is cool. Very, very awesome workflow. So we're going to take out the melody and we're going to take, we're going to take out the melody and the bass for Honey, I'm Good. We're going to leave the drums for the first half of the transition and turn it off for the second half. We can leave the kids' drums on the whole time, but actually if I wanted to basically even out the drums from one track and another, when I get this double bracket, look what happens. This is cool. So that's another creative possibility. But yeah, for this one, I just want to keep the drums. That's another way you could do it too. There's a lot of different ways that you can play with the stems and control them. But yeah, we can actually, let me make this big so I can grab this. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna have the drums from Honey, I'm Good going halfway through the transition, and the kids' drums can go the whole time. Let's see what it sounds like. Awesome. It sounds really nice with the keys and everything. But actually, I was going to lock it, but there's one other thing I want to do real quick before we move on to the next one. So let's say that I wanted to add just like a little bit of a reverb. So I'm going to extend this transition window. You'll see why in a second. So that last part of Andy Grammer singing Honey, I'm Good with the woo, right? Let's say I want to give that a nice little effect on the way out. Well, I could come back to transition. I can come into effects, and I can either choose echo or reverb. In this case, I think a reverb would be good. So I'm going to click on reverb, and you see this little line that shows up right here. I can drag this over to the section I want to reverb out of, and I think this can be a real heavy reverb. I think it will be fine. Let's turn it all the way up to 100 and see what it sounds like. Yeah, I'm not mad at that. Yeah, I like it where it was before. And the reason why I extended the transition window is so that I knew I wanted a big reverb, so I wanted to give the reverb a tail space for the reverb to kind of ring out. So that transition's good. We can lock that one down. We can keep moving through it. All right, we're doing a key change again. So I know I want to mix out of the chorus. The chorus is right there. I was able to click right on it, as you can see, because once again, the waveforms are just super easy to navigate before you even listen, which is awesome. I know I want this to be a 16 bar transition. And because we're switching keys here, oh wait, sorry, I think I went a little too long. There we go. So because we're switching keys, what I'm going to do is just use the drums of this Kings of Leon, Use Somebody remix. And this remix actually isn't really that good. It's very outdated. I would never play it as is. Check this out. Like, this part's cool. The drop really sucks, but I can manipulate this to make it cool, obviously, with all the possibilities I have here. So let's get rid of... Oh, wait, we gotta go to this transition. Okay. So we're gonna get rid of volume, bass, and what I want to do is I want to basically... I'll basically do a redrum for this transition. So I'm gonna get rid of the drums on Kids, gonna get rid of anything that's not drums on Use Somebody, and let's just see what it sounds like. All right, not bad, but when the drums come in, it sounds a little... I don't know if I like that transition so much, but what I can do is I can drag the transition window back a little bit. Let's drag it back to, 32. So what I can do is the drums for, because I have the drums muted in the stems, the drums for the Kids are going to go away. So I can go back into my samples. I can find maybe like an impact or something. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, maybe something. Yeah, something like that, and I'll kind of bring it down a little bit. So let's see. That way I give space for the other drums to come in. And if I really wanted to, I could also add in like a cymbal effect. I know transition 3 is like a cymbal. Oh, gotta get it in sample 2. So drag this sound effect here. Okay, cool. So now the transition of the drums I'm happy with. All right, that was really fast. I don't like how the drums are stopping and starting, though. That's actually really annoying me. I don't like that constant pause. So what I could do, I could grab drums from somewhere else in the track, or I could just grab the section I do like and just duplicate it a bunch of times. There's a lot of ways around this. So just for time's sake, I'm just going to do this real quick. Just fill out the transition with just that small little loop. But I can do it if I want. So that's sounding pretty good. Now, because we're switching keys, what I want to do is I want to, towards the end of this transition, I want to get rid of the melody and the bass. So what I'm going to do is cut everything here. All right, but obviously it sounds kind of abrupt. So there's a couple different things you could do. We could try actually using some white noise. Let's see if that works out. If not, we'll use a sample. But I want to show you guys how you can use the white noise as well, which is a lot of fun. Like I like choosing my own like risers and down sweeps, but it's cool because you can actually craft your own with the white noise feature. So if I come here, I click on S, you can see that this line is now a white noise level. Right now it's at 0. So what I can do is create a couple of automation points where I can use to control the white noise. And let's see if we can't make a quick down sweep. Oh, we got to come up a little bit. Oh, maybe I got to bring it back a little. Let's see. Well, let's try their down sweep. I don't know if we can move it though once we put it in there, but as you can see, yeah, I think the manual will be the way to go. So let me actually, yeah, let's drag this back a little. All right, not bad. I'd have to, for the manual white noise, I usually spend a lot of time messing around with it. So for the example of tonight's demo, I'll just use a sample, but just know that that's there, and you can mess around with it. So for this one, I'll just use a down sweep 2 I like a lot. Bring the volume down on that just a little bit. Now I'm thinking I might want to do it on the last. I want to cut out the melody and all that here. I think that'll make more sense. Here we go. Okay, there we go. I like that. So I don't know why I got this thing for opera that came up. All right, so as you can see, there's a lot more of this intro. I don't really want to use all that. I can see that the breakdown is right here. All right, and what's great is I can just easily highlight this this section and get rid of all this that I don't want. I can just hit cut, and now. All right, the guitars come in. But I think Rihanna would sound really, really sexy over this. So we're going to put Rihanna over this. But before we do that, I want to grab these vocals because I'm going to use them later. So what I'm going to do, and this is a little trick for anybody who's kind of new to like working with a DAW. It can be really easy to get tricked up on when vocals start before or after the downbeat. In this case, use somebody, the vocals are coming in before the downbeat. I've been roaming around. So round, that's on the downbeat. It can be hard to kind of, grab that in a way to where you can, place it on the grid. So what I like to do is I'll just copy I'll just copy it from like an earlier downbeat, right? And then if I hit copy vocals, I know that that part is going to be on beat and I can just crop it the way I want. So you're going to see me do that in a little bit. But for now, we're going to take these vocals and we're gonna put them off to the side for now. We're gonna use them in a little bit. What I want to do is I want Rihanna to come in right here. So check this out. This is another cool thing that you can do. You can actually put transition windows right up close to each other. So there's basically a gap, like one transition and then another transition right away with no gap. So I can take this transition window and come right up to the last transition window. And let's go to our transition. Let's get rid of our volume and bass automations. Let's go to our stems. I didn't even look at the beat grid of this is what we came for, because this one's pretty straightforward. But we'll just get rid of the melody and the bass for Rihanna. And let's see. Oh, we're going to have to drag this transition window out quite a bit. I want to drag it out to the, bar 25 of Rihanna. So I can see that there. Very, very easy. All right. So let's see what it sounds like. Oh, obviously we have to get rid of the vocals in Kings of Leon. So let's do that too. All right.
Baby, this is what you came for. Lightning strikes every
Oh
time
man, that sounds really good. I want to bring
and everybody's watching her, but she's looking at you.
there's a little that I wanted to put in there right here. Yeah, there we go. We'll lock that last transition down.
And everybody's watching her, but she's looking at you.
Damn, Rihanna sounds so good over that. All right, so this is sounding really good. This is where the drop comes in. It's not like a very heavy drop, obviously, but what I want to do is basically just take out the melody, the bass, and the drums from Use Somebody and kind of make room for this drop to come in. Right, very simple. Now, I only want Rihanna to sing the you part, and then I want the song to be over with. So the next song we have is Dreams by Fleetwood Mac, the Burnout remix. And this is another one. It's in the same key with Rihanna. Rihanna's going to sound really, really nice over this. So the first half of this remix is just flat drums. The second half is when the music comes in and then the song starts. So I can line this up perfectly with Rihanna's chorus. So once again, I'm going to put this transition window right up against the previous one. Gonna drag it out to bar 17 of Fleetwood Mac. All right, let's go get our transition right. We're gonna so this time with the stems, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave Rihanna's bass and melody on for the first half of the transition, and then turn it off for the second half, since this is, you know, the first half of the Fleetwood Mac remix is flat anyway. And this one I'm actually going to use the bass swap. So I'll turn the bass swap back on. It's just nice that you could just hit a button and then, you know, whatever length your transition window is, it will evenly swap the bass for you between the two tracks. Very, very useful. All right, let's see what this sounds like. I think we can lock this one in. Love it, love it, love it.
Damn.
But
Ragoza, quick question for you.
yes.
Just to put this into perspective for people, if you were to be doing this in Ableton, how much time would it take?
Well, considering that these
Showing us
stems were never, a lot of these stems were never released officially, I would have to manually extract and import these stems. So each transition could take anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Because once again, because Ableton doesn't have built-in stem separation, I would have to do all that outside of Ableton, then put the stems back in, get them lined up, and then, you know, by that time, I don't even feel like doing it anymore. I'm already, you know, because it's very daunting and tedious to do it that way.
May I say one thing?
Yes.
Can you click the library in the top of your screen?
Yes.
Yes, click. And now right-click on the name of a track.
Oh, the one that I'm working on?
Just a track. Right click.
Right.
Okay, and you see stems for Ableton. This is a little Easter egg we have in here. So when you click it, it opens up a window, and here you can do the stem separation, and the beat grid in there is now fixed. But if you have an AI beat grid, because we do the beat gridding 10 times better than the warping of Ableton,
Yeah.
you can select just the vocal, use the AI beat grid, and then export it as a zip file. And in the zip file is the stem and is an ALS file containing the warp markers for the vocal. So if you are really in love with Ableton and you want to stay there, we can help you with stems for Ableton. But this a little Easter egg in here.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. All right, how you guys enjoy? You guys enjoying this? You guys having fun? I want to show you. I want to show you one. I know. I don't know how long you guys want to watch me do this for, but like I could go on and on because there's so many cool ideas. But I do want to show this example. I mean, Siebrand showed this a little bit earlier, but this is worth emphasizing how cool it is to have a vocal or any other stem in the sample lane and mute the original stem. This is a situation where it becomes really useful. So check this out. It sounds good when Rihanna's done singing and Stevie Nicks comes in, right? But what if we wanted to make this even more of an exciting mega mix and put even more surprises in? Well, we just used the Kings of Leon music. Now we can use the vocals because we're still working in the same key here. And look how cool this works out. So if I drag this over here, let me make sure I got the vocal in the right spot. Oh, perfect. I can just crop this. So now, if I let this play, obviously, they're both singing at the same time, no good. But if I hit mute stems, it's gonna only mute the stems of the Fleetwood Mac song. It's not gonna. It's gonna mute Stevie Nicks, not Rihanna. So listen how smooth this comes out sounding. Woo! So much fun. All right, so after he's done singing, I want the chorus of Dreams to come in. All right, so when he's done singing, so that's the only part I really want to use. So now the thing is, when the vocals are done from the sample lane, the vocals from the song are going to come back in, but that's not a problem. There's an easy way to fix that. So basically, I want him to sing, and then I want to go straight to the chorus because that makes the most sense. So what I'm going to do is, I know at bar 33, that's where I want the chorus to come in, but I don't want the first chorus to come in. I want the second chorus to come in. So I can come over here. I don't even have to listen. I can see that this is the second chorus. I can just come right here. I can hit Command E if I want. You can see it puts a little split in the track. I can come back to bar 33, hit Command E again. This is for when, the points that you want to cut are like far apart and you can't see both points in the same screen. This is when I do this to make sure my cuts are accurate. So I'm going to come here, click Command E, and as you can see, the whole section is highlighted now. I can just hit cut, and then right, the chorus comes in. Now, obviously, we still have to fix this, so I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. And this is a problem. Well, it's not a problem. It's just something that maybe some people who have been using DJ.Studio might have ran into this and trying to figure out how to get around something like this. I'm going to show you exactly how. So what I'm going to do is actually bring the next transition window over to put it on the chorus. I know the next song is in key, so we're gonna harmonically mix it, which is gonna be cool. Let's just get rid of our volume and bass for now. Time after time, let me just go ahead and AI beat grid this. I already know that song's all over the place, so we'll just do that right now so we don't have to worry about it. So I want time after time to come in under Fleetwood Mac, under Stevie Nicks singing. So what I can do is turn on the stems, do what I normally would do. Let me get rid of the melody, the bass. Let's see what it sounds like. Okay, so that's sounding good, but we have to get rid of the vocals here now. So we can drag this transition window back, and the problem that you might run into at first, and I'm gonna show you how to get around it, is that you can only take the vocals out on this track from this side. You can't take it out here and then have it come back in. Well, you could with a volume automation, but I'll show you an easier way to do it. So what I can just do is just either copy the vocals or just hit option and grab these vocals, bring it down to a sample lane. But you know what? I don't want that. I just want the chorus part. So what I'm gonna do is just highlight this, copy vocals. Okay, so now I have the vocals for Stevie Nicks down here. So now I can get rid of these vocals completely, and now the transition sounds smooth. Well, I might want to bring back in the bass and the melody for that little gap there. There we go. All right, now that worked out pretty good. Now I need to extend this window a little bit more because I don't know how long she sings for, and I don't think I copied enough of the vocal. I should have copied more, but no problem, because I can just grab it with the bracket here, and I can just drag it out, kind of like you do in Ableton, and I can just drag it until I see that she stops singing. Okay, she stopped singing there. All right, so I know I need time after time to go at least to that phrase. Obviously, Cyndi Lauper is going to start singing, but I want Cyndi Lauper to start singing when Stevie Nicks is done. So I'm going to get rid of her vocals for now, and let's see what happens at the end of the Stevie Nicks chorus. Okay, so obviously it's a weird phrasing, but we can fix this super, super easy. So boom, and I'm gonna have Cyndi Lauper come in right there. So I can see that she starts singing here. We can see it on the vocal stem. So what I could do is I could hit Shift. I can grab this whole section, and then I'm gonna hit Command D. So now watch this. As soon as Stevie Nicks is done, Cyndi Lauper should come in with the beginning of her verse. Okay, so that happens there, and it's all right, but I think a sound effect could kind of make it sound a little bit better. So I'm gonna put maybe try put this little impact here, and then maybe a transition effect. Let's see. That one might be a little too long. We'll just do the cymbal one. I think that will be fine. All right, I'm gonna turn that down just a little bit. Turn this one down just a little bit. Okay, so that sounds cool. All right, I can keep going. You guys want me to keep going, or how you guys feeling? You guys having fun or what?
Let's maybe do some more. I see some questions.
Yeah, let's tackle some questions.
There's one person who is asking how you would use this to make a mashup.
Well, you're seeing mashups being made right in front of you. I'm making multiple mashups within this mix. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's the style I like to do. Like, I don't like to just do like one mashup, and then stop what I'm doing and then do another one. I like to do a mix with a bunch of mashups included in it. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, I know like you might be talking about how do I do an individual mashup.
Yeah.
Well, it's really the same concept. You would
Right.
use the
I
same
mentioned that.
tools.
Bobby asked. Yeah, I mentioned that. But
Yeah.
Bobby this is Bobby's words here. Bobby Hash. He says, but how can you do that with just 2 songs, 2 decks, and not lock it in the transition feature? I think that's what a lot of folks are wondering. Seems like you drag into sample 1 and 2 and mute deck 1 and 2 to mash up. So I think there's a little bit of confusion from his side.
Well, I think it's one of those things where there's what I like about DJ Studio's workflow is that it gives you multiple options to do one thing with the options of like, for example, putting a vocal into a sample lane and then being able to mute the original sample of the track that's in the deck, or just the stem separation alone, or being able to save vocals as samples, and there's a lot of different ways that you can basically accomplish the same thing. So yeah, if the other thing to keep in mind too is you can drag the transition windows. Maybe Siebrand can confirm or not confirm, but as far as I know, you can drag them as far as you want. I don't know. Is there a limit to how far you can drag them? The transition windows? I've been able to drag them as far as I want.
Oh, okay. I think he's taking. I think he's speaking.
Oh, Siebrand, let me unmute you. Siebrand's he's still up, still rocking with us.
Sorry, I'm yeah. So
Sorry.
if you have, you can hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here is Madonna, and let's say that I use the drums over here, and I wanted to redrum her, and well, I'm in the mood, so let's do it all the way. And I can even, if I place the playhead over here and I press escape, now it's following the playhead, and you can move Madonna forward and introduce the beats already over here. Well, Command C, 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 C. Here we go. And so, and I'm ready with Madonna. The Solum track, I can select it, press delete. So now the track is gone. So now you have your assets. In this one, mashup. I'll save it. I'll save it as a mashup. Mesh Donna.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. And now when I create a new mix, and I'll grab some tracks. Oops, here we go. I can have now 2 tracks in my mix. And if I go to add tracks, you see there is a mashup section. And in the mashups, you see all mashups that are created. And where is my mesh Donna? Oops.
You're in record box.
Oh, I'm in record box.
Yeah,
Sorry,
record
I'm in
box.
record box. I need to go to my library. Sorry. Here is the mashups, and here is Mesh Donna. And now adding Mesh Donna, you see here is Mesh Donna, and including the samples in here. So this is if you want to have the source code of your mashup in a mix, so that you can still make the edits. If you're not interested in the edits, then of course you can simply export it as a WAV file and re-import it. Same goes for Madonna. If you right-click Madonna, you could say split a cappella and instrumental. A lot of times it's nice having her a cappella. The a cappella, we attach the beat grid to it. So normally a cappellas are a hell because you don't have the beat grid. We attach the beat grid, and now you see I have a lot of a cappellas in here. Murder on the Dance Floor and Forever. So here's the a cappella, and we exchanged Madonna now for the instrumental version. So if you want to do the karaoke version, and I delete the a cappella. So now I have the instrumental in here. If I go to add tracks, over here you see instrumentals I created, and Borderline was an instrumental I created. So that's the one you can use. and I saw questions about 2 decks. I want 4 decks. Yes, that's in your mind. But we have 2 decks who are responsible for the tempo. So consider that we follow the groove of Madonna, and you want to add another track to it. Let's say I like to have the first rebirth over here. This track, I can simply mark this track, copy it to the sample lane, and now move it over, and I have it on the sample lane, and here is my third track. So I did a lot of tricks now. I split the original in an instrumental and an a cappella. The instrumental is still for the decks, dominating the tempo, and the a cappellas are here in the sample section. The samples, you see if there is a logo in front of it. This is from beat source. Disco.
Everybody put your hands up, let's party. Everybody bounce with me, some champagne.
So this is a sample from beat source. I can use it, but if I want to export it, that would be illegal in DRM county. So then I first need to buy the track or legalize the track. And then we look in your library and we replace it with the one you have in your library. And then you can export the sample. And over here you see the sample details, and here you can download it. And for this one, it says you need to legalize it first. So those are a lot of answers to different questions.
Cool. And then we had a few questions about how you're putting scratches into here, Ragoza. I think you're doing that after the fact, but Fleur also said scratch samples are coming soon. Ragoza, are you able to?
I think that's two different things. So for me personally, like, I'm a turntablist as well. So like if I put scratches in a mix, they're not going to be a scratch sample. It's going to be my scratches that I put, perform on the turntables. So there is a way you could do it with DJ.Studio. You would basically just record your scratches separately and make sure that you're recording them at the right BPM. And it would be helpful if you start your scratches on the downbeat. And then what you do is you can put that scratch into a sample lane in DJ.Studio and then EQ it however you want, put the volume where you want. So that's one way you could do it. The other way too, you could just, when you're done with the mix, export the mix into Ableton and then use a sound card to record your scratches into Ableton. But that at that point is considered an instrument. So, but yeah, there's a couple different ways that you could do it.
Awesome. And then we got a question about mastering. Maybe Siebrand, you can show just a little bit of mastering. He says some songs sound louder than others because now.
Okay, this is sounding awful what I just did. Big key clashes. Over here you see the tracks in the mix. And for every track, oh, sorry, I need to get rid of this one. You can set the individual gain for every track and compression. Especially old songs need a bit more compression. And here you can view it. We have a limiter with a gain -2, and you can set a ceiling to it. And this is how you can avoid distortion in your music. And we have an auto gain over here. You can switch it on and off in the editor. And for the export, there is the auto gain as well. So, but the auto gain is an automatic volume. So the soft parts of a track will get louder and the loud parts will get softer. So eventually they're all equalized. I'd like to stay away from the auto gain. But that's what we have in mastering options. Oh, and of course, plus VST. And I can go to my M analyzer or whatever and play it over here and do your put your fab filters in here and use your own VSTs for it, for mastering.
Amazing. That's really cool. Beautiful. And we had another question from Marshall. Can you add an echo tail like using effects in your DJ mixer?
Well, we have in the echo out effect over here. Let's zoom this thing. and go to the transition effects. There is an echo out. This is the echo out marker. Let me solo this one so you can hear it. And now we have a really long tail. The tail is as long as the transition window is, what Ragoza showed. And do 3/4. So it works exactly the same as the Pioneer echo out, the DJ echo out. So that's yes.
Amazing. Cool.
I did see a couple of people asking, they're saying, oh, it's all up tempo stuff, you know, you've been showing, is this good for hip hop? If you guys don't mind, I'll just show for just a quick second hip hop mix that I actually put out on Mixcloud. It did really well this summer, and I used DJ.Studio for it.
Can I make one remark for hip hop?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yes. So you can half tempo a grid, and you can double tempo a beat grid if necessary. So for hip hop, it's important that you in the settings set the BPM detection range. And for hip hop, you need to be in 70 to 140. A lot of people start with 90 to 180 and they say, oh, all my hip hop tracks are doubled in speed. Yeah, well, that's this detection range. It's not a problem because when you set your beat grid the first time, let's see, I've got one over here and it's halved in tempo. When you select the grid twice, it will reanalyze the tempo and now it's back to 120. But if you want and you need to mix it into something really speedy, you can add the extra number of beats in here and make it mixable. So that's for the hip hop remark.
Yeah, no, that's definitely very helpful to point that out. It's good that you could set those different ranges for the BPM. So yeah, for those of you who want to see some hip hop, I get it because hip hop is a different style of mixing. Like I came up when I started DJing, that's what I did like originally for the first 5 years. I was strictly hip hop, R&B, and reggae. So with that style, I mix it. I like to do a lot of blends, just letting verses ride over a different beat, things like that. So This is part of the project that I put out this summer. As you can see, it looks pretty crazy because there's a lot of fun stuff going on here. So I'll just play a couple transitions. We won't, for time's sake, get too in depth with it, but just so you could see how nice it is to do hip hop mixes as well with DJ.Studio.
He right here with me, Friday night, hot as hell, and you know the hoes out. Mini petty, fresh set, and I got my toes out. I'm rocking off-white, on the off night. These bitches with me pretty, and they y'all can fight. Yeah, fuck you mean, 40 inches.
You guys get the point of that one. This was, I left this instrumental so I could put scratches over this. And then the song comes in. Let's see what happens next.
Still got the juice, bitch, bite a sippy. I will never slippy like a Mickey. Stay in your Tory lane, bitch. I'm not Iggy. I know that you niggas.
All right, let's see what happens over here. It's a lot of fun blends and stuff. It makes it really easy to do. Let's check out this part. Did some Jersey bounce stuff. Yeah, a lot of fun that you can have with hip hop with DJ.Studio. Oh, check out this one. Or what about Eminem with Glorilla? Check this one out.
I slept on the floors in the Empire State Building. I got so many stories, but I hate ceilings. Ain't filling your top 5 favorite rappers, so I know they about to be pissed at me. But this to me is a mystery. How rappers I've already ripped could be higher up on a list than me.
Anyway, you guys get the point. You could mix hip hop a lot easier now because you don't have to have the actual acapellas like you used to back in the day. You can just make your own acapellas right there in the project. If you want to add in scratches, like I said, what I do is when I'm making the mix, I make an instrumental gap, and then I either mark it off or, just know, okay, that's where I want to put scratches. But yeah, you could do it with hip hop. I've been using it, like I said, for a lot of different genres. You know what I'm saying? The tracks I chose tonight, I chose because those are those kind of songs that I demonstrated tonight. Those are the kind of songs that take me the longest to make mixes out of, because I think hip hop is easy to mix with. I think dance music is easy to mix with. Alternative rock, pop music, not so much, but it sounds good. It is easy now, of course, because of DJ.Studio, but before it was very difficult because of the time it would take to actually make it sound smooth. You know what I mean? Because the only way to make it sound smooth really was to have the stems for it. And if you didn't have the original stems, you'd have to, do the whole song and dance of getting them externally, importing them in, and now we can avoid all that process. It literally, like I'm saying, I'm not exaggerating. Has saved me this year alone, this summer alone. It saved me hundreds of hours, no lie.
I appreciate it. DJ Ragoza showing us all the magic. We appreciate it, dude.
Or someone's saying, does it work with Spanish music? Listen, guys, you saw what it did with Come On Eileen. How are you gonna ask? Oh, does it work with Spanish music? Does it work with Afrobeats? If it did that with Come On Eileen, it can follow Afrobeat rhythm. If it can do it with that song, trust me, it can do it with reggaeton. It can do it with salsa. It can do it with merengue.
Hell yeah! Tell them, Ragoza. Tell them. Once again, DJ Ragoza, thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys liked his style of teaching, this is the kind of stuff that we talk about at the Dangerous DJ School.
Yes, Dangerous DJs members, we're going to be doing more of this, so don't worry. To those of you who want to keep going, Dangerous DJs members, we're just getting started with DJ.Studio. We have a lot more fun to have. And
you can check that out at dangerousdjs.com. Siebrand, thank you so much for staying up so late. Fleur,
yeah, thanks for hanging out and checking out my my mix.
So much. Aaron Trailer, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for showing us inside your crazy brain, Ragoza. We appreciate it.
Hey, my pleasure. This is so much fun for me now. This used to be a daunting task, you know what I'm saying? But now it's a fun process, and my wife loves it because I get to come to bed earlier now because of all the time it saves me. So yeah, I can't say enough good things about it. Thank you, Siebrand and Fleur. Like I said the other day, the software is literally changing my life. So appreciate it very, very much.
Appreciate
Thank
you guys.
you for your kind words. Yeah.
Thank you once again. Thank you again, Siebrand and Fleur, tuning in. It's 3:23 a.m. where they are right now. We appreciate you for staying up late. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. We will see you guys next week. We love you guys. Thanks again. Bye, DJ.Studio. Get in there.
Thank you.
All.